January 15th, 2006, Lakeside. A 21-year-old from Gore, a 100-to-1 outsider with no BDO ranking, walks onto the biggest stage in darts and stuns Raymond van Barneveld in front of millions of Dutch viewers. Overnight, Jelle Klaasen became the youngest world champion in history, the Golden Boy. But what Klaasen did 6 years later would end that friendship forever and reveal who he really was. The scoreboard at Lakeside still carries the weight of that night. Klaasen 7, van Barneveld 5. January 15th, 2006. A 21-year-old temp worker from Gore, unknown and unseeded, dismantled the king of Dutch darts in front of millions. The bookmakers had him at 100-to-1. No one outside his family gave him a chance. But Klaasen didn't blink. He had already sent the world number one, Mervyn King, packing in the semi-finals. Then, with the pressure of a nation on his shoulders, he outgunned van Barneveld, a man who had ruled the sport for years, the youngest world champion ever, 21 years and 90 days. By sunrise, Dutch newspapers crowned him the new face of the sport. Headlines called it a changing of the guard. This was a breakthrough moment. The aftershocks didn't stop there. 3 weeks later, he faced Phil Taylor, the bulldozer from Stoke, and edged him 7-6. It wasn't just a fluke. Klaasen had arrived and the world took notice. The next day, the Professional Darts Corporation came calling. Their press release made it official. Jelle Klaasen, Michael van Gerwen, and Vincent van der Voort, three Dutch prodigies, were leaving the British Darts Organisation and signing with the PDC. For the first time, the old order looked vulnerable. Darts in the Netherlands had a new golden boy, and for a brief moment it felt like nothing could break him. The cameras flashed, the sponsors lined up, and every kid with a dartboard wanted to be like Jelle. But trust, once given, can be shattered. And the higher the pedestal, the harder the fall. The cracks started showing sooner than anyone expected. The next January, Klaasen returned to Lakeside as the reigning world champion. He did not last an hour. Koos Stomper, a workmanlike Dutch veteran, swept him aside in straight sets, 3-0. No fight, no drama, just a cold, clinical exit. The youngest champion in history out in the first round, a humiliation that sent shockwaves through Dutch darts. Only 6 men had ever suffered that fate before. The press did not hold back. Headlines that once called him the future now questioned if he would ever live up to the hype. Klaasen packed his bags and crossed to the PDC. Instead of a hero's welcome, he landed at rank 262. Every match became a grind. No automatic invites, no sponsor bonuses, just endless qualifiers and long drives to nowhere. The aura was gone. In the 2008 World Championship, he drew Vincent van der Voort, a fellow Dutchman with something to prove. The match went the distance. Klaasen stood at the Oche with 10 darts to win. He missed them all. Van der Voort closed it out. Another exit, another headline about wasted promise. The PDC dangled a lifeline in 2009, granting Klaasen a wildcard for the Premier League. He lost 5 of his first 7 matches and finished 7th, dead last among the elite. The shots that once found the ball now drifted wide. The swagger was replaced by tight shoulders, the confidence by visible frustration. By his mid-20s, the Wonder Kid label had curdled into something else, a warning. The sport's new golden boy was unraveling, and the world was watching. August 2012. Dutch tabloids splashed his name across the front pages. Jonge darts kampioen beschuldigd van kinderporno in Algemeen Dagblad. Klaasen, ik heb een fout gemaakt in de Telegraaf. The headlines did not mince words. The police dossier landed on a prosecutor's desk in Leeuwarden, stamped and logged. The details were ugly and impossible to ignore. A 15-year-old girl, a string of explicit messages, and a family connection that cut deep. She was a close friend of Michael van Gerwen. The same Van Gerwen who had walked side by side with Klaasen since their teenage years, who had shared hotel rooms, sponsors, dreams of Dutch dominance. Now, the betrayal was personal and the fallout was national. Klaasen did not hide. He walked into the police station and admitted everything. The statement is still in the file. Ik erken dat ik ongevraagd seksuele materiaal naar een minderjarige heb gestuurd. No excuses, no denials. He issued a public apology, a few dry lines that did nothing to patch the wound. I made a mistake. I regret my actions. The victim's family rejected it outright. The press ran his words next to the mugshot, side by side with the police log number. The darts world, already reeling, watched as one of its youngest champions was dragged from the back pages of sport to the front pages of scandal. The sense of betrayal ran deeper than the crime itself. This was not just a player gone wrong. It was the collapse of trust, the shattering of a partnership that had once defined Dutch darts. For Van Gerwen, the fallout was personal. For fans, it was a gut punch. And for Klaasen, the hero's mask was ripped away in full view of a nation. The damage was done. The only question left was whether the system would deliver real consequences, or just another slap on the wrist. 16 hours. That's what the Leeuwarden court decided was enough. On December 13th, 2012, the judge read the sentence. 16 hours of community service and a fine of €327. No prison, no ban, no public censure from the sports authorities. The official record, ECLINLRBLEEU 2012-1234, reads like a receipt for a traffic violation, not the reckoning of a national betrayal. 2 workdays, a sum less than a single televised match fee. That's the arithmetic the court delivered for a crime that detonated a friendship, humiliated a family, and stained the reputation of Dutch darts. The judge cited remorse, a clean record, and the victim's wishes. The law allowed it, so the system obliged. 16 hours. For a player who had earned more than €40,000 in prize money the previous year, the fine was a rounding error. The court's logic was simple: move on, reintegrate, let the sport handle its own. But the sport did nothing. Klaasen missed the 2013 World Championship, 4 months out, barely a hiatus. The door was already open for his return. By the spring, he was back on the tour, picking up where he left off, as if 2 work days of service and a modest fine had wiped the slate clean. The message was clear. In Dutch darts, the price of disgrace is negotiable. The legal system handed him a pass, and the PDC did not even bother to close the gate. The judge became an enabler, the sport an accomplice. For Klaasen, it was business as usual. For everyone else, it was a warning. If you are valuable enough, the rules do not apply. The world of darts has always thrived on rivalries, but nothing compares to the raw contempt Michael van Gerwen spat out in December 2019. Cameras rolled in the Alexandra Palace press room as Van Gerwen, the sport's biggest star, faced the question head on. He did not flinch. He did not dress it up. He said, cold and direct, "I hate him. I hate him, so I do not want to lose to him. We do not like each other. That made it even more important I won this game." That was no empty outburst. This was the face of Dutch darts, the man who had once shared rooms and dreams with Klaasen, now delivering a moral verdict in front of the world. The quote ricocheted through Sky Sports, picked up by every tabloid and broadcast on loop. No apology, no handshake, no attempt at reconciliation. For fans, for sponsors, for every player who had kept quiet, Van Gerwen's words cut through the silence. It was the sport's conscience, live on air, a line in the sand that said some things cannot be forgiven, no matter what the rulebook says. On the 12th of January 2024, Jelle Klaasen storms through Q School and wins his way back onto the PDC Tour. No protest, no debate, just a fresh tour card, active through March 2025. The board signs off and the sponsors keep their logos on the broadcast. Sky Sports, Bet Victor, Kindred Group. Every televised match delivers exposure. Every run to a players' championship final brings more prize money and more branding. The PDC leadership, silent. The safeguarding committee, invisible. No ban, no review, not even a public statement. The same faces on stage, the same handshake lines, the same sponsors cashing in. What does it take to be barred from this sport? If a conviction, a public admission, and years of shame aren't enough, what is the line? The system doesn't answer, it just keeps dealing the cards. Klaasen walks free, shielded by legal loopholes and a silent PDC. The wound festers in Dutch darts, betrayal with no real reckoning. Michael van Gerwen said, I hate him, so I do not want to lose to him. Some stains do not fade, no matter how many trophies follow.